Hi friends, today's lesson will be introduction about active voice and a passive voice. So sentences can be active or passive. The four tenses have passive or active forms. We must learn to recognize the difference to successfully speak English. We start with the active voice. The sentence in active voice starts with subject, which means the doer. The verb, then the object, which means the receiving action. In active voice, the focus and the emphasis is on the doer of the action, which means the subject, the first position. Unlike the passive voice, in which the focus and the emphasis is on the receiving action, which means the object, rather than the subject, which means the doer of the action. We take an example concerning active voice. The professor teaches the students. The professor here is a subject, teaches is a verb, and the student is the receiving action, which means the object in the last position. So as to transform statements from active voice into passive voice, we use the auxiliary verb to be. To be in a passive voice takes the tense of the main verb in the active voice. Great. Let us speak briefly about the form of the passive voice. So the passive of an action tense is formed. Okay, the subject in the active voice becomes an object in a passive voice. As an example here, the students are taught by the professor. So here we transform the statements into a passive voice. Great. So the object in active voice becomes subject in a passive voice. We conjugate to be in the same tense as the main verb in the active voice. يعني to be هذا الفعل المساعد يدي الوقت اللي راح فيه الفعل في الactive voice. Great. So then the main verb of the active voice turns in a past participle of the verb in the passive voice. يعني ولو verb تاعنا teaches اللي كان في الإكزامبل الأول في present ولا taught in the passive voice, in the past participle of the verb في passive voice. Great. So we have three things. عندنا 3 أمور يتغيروا. المكان تاع الدواء of the action يعني الفاعل. الحاجة الزوجة الأوبجكت اللي في الأكتيف فويس يولي subject في الباسيف فويس. والأوكسيليير to be الفعل المساعد to be يدي الوقت اللي يكون فيه الفيرب في الأكتيف فويس. والمين فيرب في الأكتيف فويس يدي الوقت تاع past participle in the passive voice. I wish this video will be useful for your honor. So don't forget to subscribe and like for more videos.